Just because Marvel's Superhero Island at Universal's Islands of Adventure puts the spotlight on fan-favorite superheroes, including Spider-Man and the Hulk, that doesn't mean the bad guys can't have their day in the sun too.
You are the last and final piece of my plan. Your terror, sucked from the very marrow of your being, will fill my fear fuel reservoir and make me the most powerful man on Earth. Now, put your head against the headrest. I don't want to miss a drop.
Is it scary?
Prepare to be terrorized.
Take a look at Doctor Doom's Fearfall, a freefall attraction that opened with the park on May 28, 1999. Based on the arch-enemy of the Fantastic Four, Dr. Victor Von Doom, better known as Doctor Doom. The attraction has guests screaming with terror as they are thrust 185 feet in the sky and hurled back down with a face-melting force stronger than gravity itself. While the attraction utilizes an S&S worldwide space shot tower ride system to launch guests, Universal originally considered Intamin's first-generation freefall ride system, which utilizes a lift, different tracks, and switches to provide the freefall sensation. Disney also considered Intamin's ride system for the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror attraction before creating their own that allows for a larger capacity and a faster drop. Debuting in 1996, the Space Shot Tower ride system is based on pneumatics and pulleys. The ride vehicle sits on a platform during loading and is lifted a few feet above the loading area during the pre-launch sequence. The vehicle is supported by cables that run to the top of the tower over a set of pulleys and attached to a piston. Suddenly, a burst of air forces the piston down, which forces the vehicle up. The vehicle reaches the peak of its ascent and stays in midair for a few more bounces before returning to the ground. Due to the ride system's low hourly ride capacity, two 199-foot tall towers were built in order to double ride capacity. Located on Yancey Street, also known as Villains Alley within Marvel's Superhero Island, guests enter the attraction by passing underneath two menacing industrial towers. Just outside the entrance to the attraction are outlines of Doctor Doom's previous victims, which are actually the last remains of the Fantastic Four. Now inside the Latverian embassy, guests make their way through the queue, where they pass by numerous Doombots, which are robots that are exact replicas of the real Doctor Doom, and a transthermal fusion dynamo, the device Doom will use to conquer the world. Now inside the holding chamber, a large projection screen plays a film informing the guest what role they are going to play in helping Doom. Explained through a propaganda film titled Latveria, Land of Enchantment, the massive device that guests will be boarding is referred to as the Tower of Doom, and its purpose is to generate and extract fear fuel out of anyone who rides it, as a fusion dynamo device is powered off of people's fear. The film elaborates on the backstory of the tower, revealing that it was initially stationed in Doom's country Latveria, where all of the citizens were ordered to ride it. Realizing that the fusion dynamo needed more power, Doom had the tower moved to America, where he's now luring in unsuspecting guests to do his bidding. Without explaining what it actually does, the fusion dynamo is said to be the ultimate superweapon, and when fully powered, Doom will use it to exact his revenge on the Fantastic Four, as well as exterminate anyone who stands in his way from rightfully taking his place as supreme ruler of the world. Guests are then ushered into the extraction chamber, where they are separated into groups of 4 and are directed to a tower and loading bay. At the loading bay, guests wait for the entry doors to open, and once they do, board the ride vehicle, which seats 4 per compartment and 16 per tower. After boarding the vehicle, it begins to hover a few feet above the ground as Doom gives the guest further instructions. You are the last and final piece of my plan. Your terror, sucked from the very marrow of your being, will fill my fear fuel reservoir and make me the most powerful man on Earth. Now put your head against the headrest. I don't want to miss a drop. Prepare to be terrorized. Suddenly, guests are launched 185 feet into the air with a thrust more powerful than a 747 jet engine, overlooking the entire park. Accelerating faster than a space shuttle, guests feel weightless as they are briefly suspended at whirling heights before being gently lowered back to the loading platform in a series of gentle air cushion bounces. On their descent back down the tower, Doom informs the guests that he now has enough fear fuel to finally defeat the Fantastic Four. Guests unboard from the ride vehicle and exit the attraction, where they pass by Dr. Doom's throne and into Kingpin's arcade, where the games are just as corrupt as the crime boss. While the heart-pounding, thrilling experience takes terror to new heights, one complaint guests have had about the ride is that it's not long enough, as it's only a minute and a half long. That being said, the attraction is not for the fearful, as it offers a rush of adrenaline and the amazing views of both the park and the surrounding areas. Dr. Doom's Fearfall is a true test of bravery, as guests are forced to face the destroyer of worlds without the help of any superheroes. The only question is, will you be brave enough to face your fears?
Ah!